Good morning, friends. May we take some time and settle in to silent worship. Thank you, dear friends, and welcome. Welcome to Stony Run Friends meeting. We thank you for joining us wherever you are in the world and for joining us this morning, afternoon, or evening. I just wanted to share very quickly two of my personal goals for this Zoom. The first is that we open our hearts to those in the world who are the most vulnerable and fragile. And my second goal is that we share the hope that the work of the friends that we are about to hear from the African Great Lakes Initiative, they give the people they work with hope, and they give us hope. Thank you. We are here to hear about the challenges and the programs in the African Great Lakes region. Joining us by Zoom is David Bachar. He is coordinator of the African Great Lakes Initiative of Friends Peace Teams. Herbert Nfuba from the Friends Women's Association in Burundi. Francine Muhuminamana from the Children's Peace Libraries in Rwanda. Peter Surratt and Innocent Kuminzi, who are working with South Sudanese refugees in Kenya, Uganda, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Just a few housekeeping details. This Zoom is being recorded, and sometime within the next couple of days, Rosalie and I will send you a link to the recording, which will be on YouTube. Our note will also include information on how to share. And please share these items with whom you wish. And please consider donating. May we do a few quick introductions. My name is Sandy Morton, and I am a member of Stony Run Friends in Baltimore, USA. With me are also Rosalie Dance and Maria Brown, also from Stony Run. And we have other members of Stony Run here. Blaine Keener, who has been of enormous help in putting this all together. We have Martha Bars, Zawadi Dance, Mark Oliver, and Adrian Bishop. So please If you are with us from Zoom, on Zoom, could you please just introduce yourselves quickly and let us know where you're from?
My name is Elaine Bishop. I am Zooming in from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, in Treaty 1 territory. And Winnipeg Monthly Meeting is a financial supporter of AGLI.
Thank you for joining us, Elaine.
I'm Linda Hall. I'm from Madison, Wisconsin. It's on the land of the Ho-Chunk Nation. But I am zooming in from Bujumbura, where I'm visiting Parfait and the Friends Women's Association.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us this morning, Linda.
I'm Peter Sobete, and I'm zooming from Kenya. I work with TCS in Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome, Peter.
Thank you.
I'm David Dibuchura. I'm zooming from Kigali, Rwanda, AGLI coordinator of the French Peace Teams. Thank you.
Good morning, dear friend.
I'm Jonathan Vogelborn. I'm in the land of the Massachusetts people in the northeast of this continent, the United States area. And I'm a longtime member of the African Great Lakes Working Group and very active in Friends Peace Teams things in general. Glad to be with you.
Welcome, Jonathan.
I'm Sue Nowelski, Somerset, New Jersey, New Brunswick meeting, New York yearly meeting.
Good morning, Sue. You're most welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Parfait Nahuba. I'm from Burundi. I'm the national coordinator of the Friends Women's Association, and we are together with some of the Friends Women's Association staff. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Parfait. It's so lovely to see you.
Greetings to you all. This is Innocent Kamanzi.
Good morning and welcome.
AGLI volunteer, zooming in from.
I think we're breaking up a little bit, but we are just so glad that you're here to tell your story.
I'm Sue Lattimore. I live in Baltimore and know of this work through Sandy, although I'm in Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey right now. So I'm near somebody else who's on here from New Jersey, and glad that we have this technology so I can see all of you in this amazing work. And I have a number of people down here that I'm going to be able to share the Zoom with, and I hope garner some good support. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Sue. It's lovely to see you this morning.
Hello, everyone. I am Francine from Rwanda. I am coordinator of Children's Peace Library of Transformation Leadership Center. I'm happy to be with you. Thank you.
And it's lovely to see you, Francine. Good morning. Or should I say good afternoon?
Thank you so much.
Go ahead. Good morning. I'm Judy Lum. I can't get my camera on. I'm zooming in from Muskogee Land in Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome, Judy. So glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Albert Muchunguzi from Rwanda. I work with the Children Peace Library. Thank you so much.
Oh, and thank you for the work that you do.
Hi everyone, My name is Agape Shimwe. I'm joining from Rwanda, Kigali. I volunteer with the Children Peace Library, and in general, I'm a friend of AGLI. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And I believe that are we missing anyone from online? And
Did you get me, Innocent?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
And I just wanted to mention Anne Kihinde from Stony Run is also here. I would like to turn the program over to Rosalie Dance, who is going to introduce David Ventura.
Hello, everybody. I was so glad to hear all of you introduce yourselves and find out you are with us already. And I am especially welcoming Judy. My goodness, so good to see you. Or didn't see you, but we heard you. Yes, David Ventura will begin with probably a short introduction so that we also hear from all of the people who work with him for the Great Lakes Initiative. David has been an inspiration to all of us and a help to all of the people who work under the African Great Lakes Initiative with their own projects, their own work everywhere that makes such a difference in the African Great Lakes region. Buchura, will you speak now?
Thank you, Rosary, and thank you, Sandy, and others who have joined for this Zoom. We are so amazing to see you and to have this time of sharing our stories from African Great Lakes Initiative and from our peace workers from different countries. As you heard, Africa Great Lakes Initiative, we have a Lex, is why we have to hear our peace workers from Kenya, from Uganda, from Congo, from Rwanda, and from Burundi. And we are going to have a time to hear and to listen stories. First of all, I want to thank you for your support for many years, supporting AGLI or French Peace Team's work, supporting peace, supporting justice, supporting healing and disasters. As now we have to hear from Parfait, the coordinator of Friends Women Association, and after we have to hear from Francine, the coordinator of the Children Peace Libraries in Rwanda, and we hear from Peter Sereti from Kenya, and at the end we hear from Innocent. We have short videos from them. And my role, I will give some answers for some questions you will ask. And now we want to hear from Parfait. From Parfait, we have a PowerPoint presentation, and also we have a short video. And now is a time of Parfait Ndahuba from Burundi.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning again. I'm happy to share the work we have been doing at the Friends Women's Association here in Burundi. Here you can see, I'm sharing my screen. You can see here, we have the map of Burundi, and you can see where Friends Women's Association is working. Now we have the new division of Burundi provinces, and the Friends Women's Association is now working in different communities from the Bujumbura, Gitega, and Urunga. And Friends Women's Association was initiated in 2002 by women from the Evangelical Friends Church. And the Friends Women's Association has been committed to improving the lives of women in the conflict and the post-conflict environment. And it is an organization which was approved by the Ministry of Interior here in Burundi. And the Friends Women's Association now has 60 members, include with a 5-member executive committee and a team of 20 dedicated professionals. Friends Women's Association philosophy is that umukobwa ntaseka uwundi araseruka, which means that rather than ignoring a young woman's misfortune, let's support her in her difficult times. Tomorrow, you too may need it. On the next slide, we have the Friends Women's Association mission, which is to provide a comprehensive community-based health care to women and their families, to promote women's leadership and autonomy, and to strengthen peace and solidarity in Kamenge and in other communities.
Perfect. I do not know if you may, I do not see the slide. I see only. I do not to others if they can see that. But me, I stopped.
That's right.
Can you see the slide?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's okay. Now it's okay. Now you can continue.
Okay. This is the slide is about Friends Association mission, which is to provide a comprehensive community-based health care to women and their families, to promote women's leadership and autonomy, and to strengthen peace and solidarity in Kamenge and in other communities of Burundi. There you can see a picture of women who have been saving money together so that they can have some financial income to prevent gender-based violence. Yeah. The next slide, I don't know if you are seeing these slides now. Hello? Okay.
Yes, you are. We see, yeah.
Yeah. This slide is about, is to show how the Friends Women's Association work, which is being done here in Burundi, is recognized even by the government. There we see a picture where the Friends Women's Association was given an award for promoting gender justice here in Burundi. It was on March 8th, 2025. The next slide is a picture of some of the staff of Friends Women's Association. And the next slide is that Friends Women's Association are doing so much work. Sometimes we take some moment to relax. There we will at Lake Tanganyika Beach. And the next slide is about the programs of Friends Women's Association. The first one is caring for HIV positive people. The second one is improving women's reproductive health. Third one, gender-based violence. About the first program, caring for HIV positive people. This program, the goal of this program is to care for HIV positive people holistically through medical and psychological care. And through this program, we do different activities, including regular blood count test for HIV positive people, to do group discussions and self-help groups, stigmatization prevention. We do also community awareness to encourage voluntary HIV screening for key populations, including sex workers and even drug users. We do also medical follow-up and nutritional support for HIV positive people. The next slide is pictures about how when we were supporting the most vulnerable people from the HIV positive people. And the next slide also is that Friends Women's Association is supporting vulnerable children. And every time at the beginning of the school year, those vulnerable children are supported with school material. The next slide is about the second program, Improving Women's Reproductive Health. This program seeks to sensitize both men and women in family planning to reduce overpopulation, because here in Burundi, now we have an average of 5.3 babies per woman, which lead to family conflict and malnutrition. And now we have also 6 community health workers who are working with Friends Women's Association staff to promote the use of contraceptive methods. When we started this program, we had an average of 120 people attending our clinic for family planning methods, but we have been organizing public educational sessions on importance of family planning. Now we have an average of 600 people per month attending our clinic for contraceptive methods. It is true that we still face some significant challenges due to the religious beliefs and our Burundian culture, and program is supported by the Great Lakes Region Consortium through the African Great Lakes Initiative of the Friends of Peace Teams. The next slide is a picture about outreach educational sessions on sexual and reproductive health organized by Friends Women's Association staff and the community health workers. Next slide is also another slide about some pictures where we organize sessions on sexual and reproductive health at Nhaseka Clinic. There we can see some of the staff. We have our medical doctor, and we have also our midwife and other staff who were educating young people on sexual and reproductive health. The next slide is the third program, Rape Survival Support, which helps the survivors of gender-based violence to heal and reintegrate into their communities, both socially and economically. And the main activities that we are doing are trauma healing workshops, home visits, medical care, self-help groups, income-generating activities, and the street business school. The next slide is a picture, a group photo after a 3-day trauma healing workshops for trauma healing workshop for gender-based violence survivors in a community called Maramvya here in Burundi. The next slide is also a picture, pictures for when we were doing trauma healing workshops in refugees camps. There it was in Musenyi, in Rutana, in Burunga province. There, because here in Burundi now we have many refugees from the Democratic Republic of Congo. So Friends Women's Association has extended its programs to run trauma healing workshops for refugees. And now we have one story from one of the refugees whose name is Blonde, who says, "My name is Blonde. I come from Goma, very close to Goma airport. I used to sell vegetables. Before the war, I went to the village. I wanted to the village to sell vegetables. And one day, way through, I encountered the 5 M23 rebels and found myself in their midst. They took all my money and it's not too bad. Yeah, and they took all my money and they took me into the bush by force. They forcibly inserted their fingers into my genitals, which was they then used an empty plastic water bottle as a means of pleasure for themselves. As the genitals weren't ready for forced intercourse, my arms and legs were tied up and my mouth was bandaged to prevent any screams. All of this was done as a form of entertainment for them. Arriving home traumatized both physically and mentally, I kept the secret for fear of being rejected by my husband. This was before the recent war broke out. When my husband and I made sex, I felt unbearable pain, but I always kept it a secret. After a few months, the war broke out and it is intensified until we left home. During the escape, I was separated from my child and my husband, and I was left with only one child as I headed to. We ended up at the Rwandan border, and before arriving there, we were caught in the middle of soldiers without understanding whether they were from the government or rebels. They raped us using their genitals, their fingers, and the bottles again for 2 days before being released to continue our escape.
No.
Arriving in Rwanda, I continued to Tanzania, then came to Burundi via Muyinga. I ended up at the Musenyi site in Rutana. To make matters worse, I was pregnant and I didn't know by whom, not even my husband. I now have a beautiful 2-week-old daughter and I praise the Lord God. I gave birth safely with the help of the health workers. I have no information about my husband and my oldest son, and it traumatizes me greatly. But this workshop gives me hope. Here, we are 20 victims of violence, and I'm not alone. The time taken to listen to us and to give us this opportunity to express ourselves is an important support in our healing process. Here, it is not just 20 people, but many more. If possible, FWA could take the time to listen to all of us and hold this kind of workshop every week to reach more people. Thank you. This was the story from Blonde. And the next slide is about nutritional support to refugees from DRC. Friends Women's Association supported them when they arrived here in Burundi. The next slide is a picture about self-help groups members, women who are saving money together to support each other. This is also a way to prevent gender-based violence because here in Burundi, most women
I cannot hear you, maybe. Are you hearing perfect?
No, we have lost her.
Okay, now you go. We can hear you perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
this slide is about street business school where we train women how they can start small projects, run small business starting with just a small capital. The next slide is about some of the results of rape survival support. We have trauma recovery, workshops give understanding, that taboos are discussed, and we have now self-help groups. At the end of December 2025, we had a total of 148 self-help groups for a total of 3,621 women. Small projects are also initiated by gender-based violence survivors. This is another story for when a woman who's a member of the self-help groups, when FWA found me in 2018, I was living in extreme poverty. Although my husband works, he struggles with alcoholism. Whenever he secured a new contract, he would take a loan and spend the money on alcohol, leaving our family in deeper poverty. All responsibilities fell on me, and I had 4 children to care for. We did not even own a single chair. My children slept on a mat on the floor. I was allowed to engage in any income generating activity. I felt trapped, hopeless, and alone. Everything began to change when a social worker visited my home during the door-to-door sensitization about saving groups. I decided to join. In my first year, I saved 30,000 Burundi francs. And at the end of the year, I received 70,000 Burundi francs as interest. With that money, I started small fruit selling business. Today, I can feed my family, pay rent, and cover my children's school fees. Beyond the financial improvement, FWA helped me heal from the inner wounds caused by gender-based violence through trauma healing workshop. In this community, I found trusted friends who support me every week. FWA did not only change my income, it restored my dignity, strengthened my confidence, and taught me how to be resilient and self-reliant. Another story from Glorious. She says, there was a time when I had a family, a home, and hope for the future. My husband and I worked hard together. We equaled the land and built a house in Bujumbura. I believed we were building a secure life side by side. Then one day, everything collapsed. He abandoned me for another woman. Because I was not legally married, I had no rights. I lost everything we had built together. Even worse, he took our 2 sons from me. The woman who once lived in relative comfort suddenly found herself alone, rejected, and living in a tiny rented room in extreme poverty. I felt humiliated. I felt broken. I felt invisible. But that was not the end of my story. When I joined FWA, I did not join as a stronger woman. I joined as someone trying to survive. I started a small restaurant business just to eat and pay rent. It was a survival, not vision. But FWA gave me something more powerful than money. FWA gave me a new mindset and a new fire inside. Seeing other women saving consistently awakened something in me. Watching them buy plots of land sealed in me a deep determination in my heart. I refuse to remain a victim of my past. I refuse to let abandonment define my future. That holy dissatisfaction pushed me to try and again. And I explored the new business ideas until I stepped into cross-border trade. I began selling beans in the DRC and bringing back African fabric and cooking oil to sell in Burundi. It was not easy. It required courage. It required risk. It required faith in me. But within just 1 year, the impossible happened. I bought my own plot of land worth of 5 million Burundi francs in Mutimbuzi. The woman who once lost everything became a landowner again, this time by her own Today, I stand not as a victim, but as a proof that economic empowerment restores dignity, rebuilds confidence, and strengthens decision-making power. I am financially independent. I am rebuilding my future with vision and determination. The next slide is the income-generating activities. There we have women from Maranja who are growing rice together. The next slide is the harvest they had in July 2025. The next slide is the harvest they had this year in April 2020. This is also about the harvest in Maramza. The next slide is the new small project initiated also by women about sewing, which is also being supported by the Friends Women's Association. The next slide is our great vision that because we have seen that women's economic empowerment can contribute to prevent gender-based violence. Now we have this dream to have this center for women's socio-economic empowerment, and this now it is under construction, is now done. So the fourth program now is about action on gender-based violence, which is there to prevent gender-based violence, where we encourage religious leaders and local administrative authorities to work together so that they can prevent gender-based violence. Yeah. The next slide is a group photo when we were training our gender-based violence survivors accompanied on the smart coup approach. The next slide is a public event organized during the 16 days campaign of activism against LGBT. This was in December 2025. This is during the same campaign, we organized a conference debate on the digital gender-based violence at the Friends Women's Association headquarters. This was also done in December 2025. So, as Friends Women's Association, it is true that we are doing this work, but we still need some support. That's why we have the 2026 fundraising priorities. Our priority is the women's socio-economic empowerment, where we will be running the trauma healing workshops, the street business school, and the educational sessions for younger people. And now we have already raised 1,600 out of 200,000 US dollar needed for this particular project. We will continue to organize trauma healing workshops for refugees, and we need also support for our 2 medical doctors, which each one needs 500 USD per month. We need also our Naseka clinic medicine support to care for HIV positive people, and we still also need nutritional support for HIV positive. We will continue also to organize educational sessions on sexual and reproductive health, and this is already founded. We continue to support children and also organize workshops to stand against gender-based violence, and the Quaker Service Norway has also supported this. So thank you very much for taking your time to listen to what we are doing as Friends Women's Association. It is true that we are meeting many challenges, but we are committed to stand against gender-based violence in our communities, and also to promote gender justice and to make sure that those vulnerable groups have good health. Thank you very much. If you want to know more, please visit our website and donate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. And I know we have a video, but now is over 20 minutes, almost 25. We want to jump to Francine, and maybe if you have time, we share the video after that. But we want to hear from Francine, and Francine has a PowerPoint, also a short video, and now we are welcoming Francine.
Thank you so much. This is the TLC, Transformation Leadership Center, but we are going to talk about Children's Peace Library, one of TLC program. TLC in general is a Rwandan profit organization. It's committed to support the children to grow and development. TLC also strengthen the conflict management, leadership skills, positive transformation among children and the communities. It focuses on peace building, peace education, and community engagement. It works closer with the schools and the libraries, even the communities. There's a relocation of Children's Peace Libraries. For now, we have 80 Children's Peace Libraries located in a different area in the north, west, and in the Kigali. Children's Peace Libraries is the safe and the welcoming space where children come and learn and grow. We promote reading culture and peaceful interaction. We encourage creativity, dialogue, collaboration, and support children in developing life skills and provide books and digital tools. This picture is about the children. They are in the discussion. Yeah, these are the Children's Peace Library programs. Reading, running, digital literacy activities. We do read aloud sessions in the schools and the libraries. We do peer mediation and the conflict resolution training, teachers and the librarian capacity building. We do community engagement initiative, which are International Peace Day, where the Peace Club, they participate and they show their art by teaching peace. We do also peace debate, where the children, they discuss different topic of peace. This is one of our innovation, which is the digital peace building, where out 6 libraries out of 8, they have iPads, they have computers, so they use those digital learning to read the books through different websites. They use those digital learning to interact. They do peace debate, online peace debate, where the children from different libraries, they discuss on a topic of peace, and they interact, they exchange ideas, then they discover the message of peace. This helps them to access even the wide selection books. They help them to make communication between different schools. The kids, they are enjoying the digital, and even their parents, the local readers, they enjoy how the children, they are growing with the digital learning. Peer mediation, it's also another program we have, and the conflict resolution, where we train the children from 9 to 15 years old. We train them how to resolve conflict themselves without intervention of adults, where they resolve the problem and the conflict of their class matters in the peacefully. In this training, they learn how to resolve conflict themselves without fighting. Each year, TS can manage to train 250 children to become peer mediators. This is the Literacy for Peace and Justice, where we do read aloud. In the schools, we have different schools where we have the teachers who were trained in read aloud, and we have librarians. They do read aloud in the classes, in the libraries. where they read aloud the stories, but also they encourage students to participate, to discuss about the story, and they get the message of peace from the story. This program helped the students to build their vocabularies, confidence, positive attitude toward reading and learning. The students also, they developed a strong communication, critical thinking skills by responding different questions. In this read aloud, they use some questionnaires, which is wondering questions where the students, they have to think, to explain, or to share their own life about the stories. This program also supports year literacy development and create a fun, interactive, and learning environment. These are key achievements. For now, we have 2 libraries established and operating, are working well with librarian who takes care of the children day by day. And we want to thank you for the last year. Thank you so much for the support you gave for these libraries. Also, we have a land for children's peace libraries where we wanted to build the children's peace hub, starting with Gichumbi as a model where we wanted to build children peace hub. The children, they can come interacting, learning about peace, grow up with the culture of peace. Read aloud the program. It's implemented in the different schools, even the libraries. For this year, we have seen the positive impact of 797 students who were able to participate in the Read Aloud program in the schools and the libraries. 10 teachers and 60 librarians were trained in Read Aloud facilitation. They know the methodology of doing Read Aloud. 246, they were trained in conflict resolution. As I said, each year we manage to train to 250. For this year, we trained 246. And the 346, they were able to participate in the peace debate session. These are continuing the key achievement, 22 cases of conflict resolution. These are cases resolved by children, not adults, who were trained in peer mediation. We expanded our work where we trained 5 Ugandan facilitators who can facilitate peer mediation in Uganda. We trained 18 Ugandan teachers who can do Read Aloud in Uganda, and they started doing Read Aloud in their classes. For now, we have 80 peace clubs who are organized on 60 libraries with 60,062 members. 6,664, they were able to participate in digital reading and blowing books. Those are children. Also, 531, children and adults, they were able to participate in a community engagement event. One is International Peace Day, where we gather every 21st September. Children, the parents, the local leaders, they gather, and the Peace Club and the other students or children, they prepare different art to present to those who gather as their art to promote peace. There's a pictures are International Peace Day, are a Peace Club gathering. This is online Read Aloud workshops where we did this year in April. We trained 18 Ugandan teachers who doing Read Aloud well in their classes. The positive impact is, so for now we have seen increasing number of children attending libraries for reading and the other activities, strengthen collaboration between schools and the libraries, and change access to the learning resources, strengthen peace building and conflict resolution skills among children, enhancing critical thinking, confidence, and communication skills among children, expanded access to peace education through digital innovation, promotion of reading culture and peace learning environment. Next. Currently, we still have needs, and we needed to construct Peace Hub model on one library in Gicumbi. As you see the picture, we need to strengthen all peace libraries, especially in peer mediation, one of our programs which promote peace and conflict resolution. We needed to have books and digital learning to the new libraries. We need also to continue to support the librarians and the teachers who are doing the work on the field. The funds we need, first one is the Peace Hub. We need to build at Gicumbi. We need 8, but already we have 25. We need the peer mediation workshop and the trauma healing, but we lucky MCC accepted to give fund for that. We need the books and the digital learning materials. For now, we have 20, and we still need also the funds. We need also capacity building for librarian and the teachers. Next. Thank you. The last slide is just to thank you, Friends, African Literacy, Friends Peace Team. Thank you so much for your support. Mennonite Central Committee, MCC, thank you so much. The Sparklers team, which support literacy for peace and justice. Everyone who contributed to the Children's Peace Library. We want to thank TLC, even the government of Rwanda. Thank you so much for taking time to hear us. Thank you. I think we have a short video of sharing from parents. We can hear in a few minutes. Thank you.
How many minutes it has?
Only
Because
5.
Okay. Sandy, what do you think?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yes. 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 She said 5.
The voice, we cannot hear anything. Are you hearing something?
No, I believe there's
we're
another
not.
setting in Zoom where you have to say share my audio as well as share.
Okay. Maybe Agap, can you organize where you are organizing for Francine? Can you organize also for Peter Seretti? We can welcome Peter Seretti, and you can organize the video for Peter Seretti, and also you organize other short videos.
Great.
Peter Seretti, we can welcome Peter Seretti from Kenya, and he works with refugees in Kakuma and in Uganda and in Kenya, and he's with us. And Peter Seretti, if you can hear, you can speak.
Thank you very much. I had already spoken in the video that I sent, around 10 minutes. I don't know if I talked quickly as the video is being prepared.
Agap, the video is already, Agap?
Yes, the video is ready.
Okay, can you share?
Yes, let me share.
We cannot hear on our end.
Me, I can hear. Are you not hearing?
We are not hearing.
Me, I was hearing. I do not know. Oh, technology.
Don't hear also here in Burundi.
You are hearing?
We don't. We don't hear.
Agap, can you replay again? The voice will come in maybe in 1 second.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone.
Are you hearing?
No, we are not hearing.
We are not hearing.
Okay. Peter
Can hear.
Seretti, can you brief?
Can hear faintly.
Me, I was hearing, but others I do not hearing. I do not know the code. Peter, can you brief the work you do with refugees in Kakuma refugee camp, the biggest refugee camp all over the world? Peter?
Do work in Kakuma refugee camp, whereby
We cannot hear Peter.
you cannot hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Yeah, I'm saying that the refugee camp is located in the northern side of Kenya, and mainly we have refugees from DRC Congo, we have refugees from Burundi, we have refugees from South Sudan, Somalia, and some parts of Ethiopia. We started working there 8 years ago when we were invited by a Friends church in the Kakuma refugee camp, and we were given opportunity to start engaging Congolese and other nationalities in alternative to violence. Then later we had a bigger need of helping South Sudanese, especially the Nuer and the Dinkas, who have been coming in because of the conflict back in their homes. And we introduced trauma healing. We've done tremendous work with the help of African Great Lakes Initiative. We've already done like 16 trauma healing workshop reaching Nuer and Dinka, and we also have trained like 50 new facilitators, whom some are still in the refugee camp, others have gone back to their country. So that is the work that we've done. Then two, we got a fund and we did a lot of work of translating the manual from English to Nuer and Dinka languages, just to help local people to facilitate in their local language. And currently, the biggest challenge that we are facing now is that after the USAID cut funding, we've had tremendous challenge when it comes to food, and even some refugees are opting to go back to their country because the government, the World Food Program, is not providing food. Some sleep, they don't get medication. The hospitals in the refugee camps do not get enough medication. So those are some of the biggest challenges that we have currently in the refugee camp. I think that is what I had mentioned in my video, and I want to thank Stony Run Meeting for giving us this opportunity to share our stories and the challenges we are facing, and even the success stories of the work that we've done. We are hoping that I think by the end of this meeting, Sandy, you can send the video to personal friends who would like to listen to what I had said earlier. Thank you very much.
If I
You,
may
Peter.
I'm sorry, David. The video is ready now. If there's still a bit of time, we can.
Friends, I think we have a choice. I certainly can include the link to the videos in the notes that Rosalie and I send to everyone.
Yes.
And I was just going to ask David Ventura what his decision is.
Yes, please include, you can include the video, and we would like to hear, because I see we are remaining with you maybe 30 minutes, and I see maybe you will send out the video to all,
I will
and
send
maybe
out,
yes, you will send, yeah.
I will send
And
out
to,
the videos to everyone on our contact list, which
yes,
is over
please.
100 people.
Yes, thank you for that. And I see Kati Resbach went many times in Kakuma refugee. If maybe, Kati, if you have maybe 2 minutes to add something from what Peter Seretti mentioned.
Thank you, David. No, I just want to appreciate Peter, and there's a great team of Kenyan facilitators there, and there is also a parallel program in Uganda. And I guess if I could emphasize anything, I would just say that the situation is very dire there in terms of food insecurity, and of course, and medical, as Peter emphasized. One of the terrific things I think about the trauma healing program, healing and rebuilding our communities, is that the facilitators can actually get paid stipends. So for their professional work, they're doing the Kenyan trainers are able to receive stipends, and also the South Sudanese. There are so few opportunities for people in the camp to earn any income. So they just get a tiny amount of money, it may be like $8 or something, but that can keep a family going for weeks. Unfortunately, they have to use that tiny amount of money to sustain themselves. So being able to provide stipends has I think literally been a life-saving thing for some of the refugees in the camp. And it's a wonderful trauma healing program, and I've seen it provide relief to hundreds of refugees over the last 10 years.
Thank you. And before we see question, I want to welcome Innocent from Congo, based in Uganda, and also he worked also with South Sudanese refugees in Uganda. And Innocent, if you can hear, you can brief your work, and we share video after this gathering to all people we would like to share with.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. In fact, I had recorded video of about 14 minutes, thinking there will be an opportunity of playing it to say everything I said. I wonder if you could try it first, and if not, then I give a briefing if possible, if Agape may go to it straight, probably.
We're not hearing.
We are not
Apparently,
hearing.
the problem is still the same. Yeah, technology is an issue. Anyway, yeah, good afternoon again, or good morning to you all. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for David Buchura's introduction about me. I am Innocent Kamanzi. I will just give you a few points based on what I had recorded. As David Buchura mentioned, I am based in Kampala, Uganda, and volunteer with AGLI, or African Great Lakes Initiative. But beside that, I am also involved with another organization where I do full-time job in peace building related work. So in Congo, I serve with the Quaker Church, whereby I help the organizers there in matters related with listening sessions to children, especially after this period whereby children are really facing hard times after the war that broke in 2022 2025 with the rebels of M23. So I collaborate with the church over there. As since last year, we have had an opportunity to organize 6 series of listening sessions to children, whereby they have an opportunity to share their stories that have traumatized them. Because unfortunately, in most cases, we focus on adults, but forgetting children, and yet children are the future of tomorrow. I could probably have given a little bit more of illustration based on the video I had recorded, but I have an opportunity probably to have you listen to it when Sandy or Rosalie are going to be sharing it. Apart from that, currently, actually, as I talk to you, I am in Uganda, whereby I'm unable to go back to Congo until further notice because of the Ebola outbreak, whereby the DRC is the epicenter. I think you are following in the news. So when I'm here in Uganda, I still get involved in organizing workshops related to healing and rebuilding our communities, again, with the Quaker Church here in Kampala. In fact, through the Quaker Church, we have had an opportunity also to work in the refugee settlement, as they are called here in Uganda. I'm glad that Kati is here, where I have had an opportunity to partner with her. In fact, going with her on ground to train Southern Sudanese refugees who live here in Kampala, who have had quite a number of conflicts with the host community. And we have an opportunity to mix them up with the host community here in Uganda to help them live together in harmony beside the conflict that has been going on from their original place or their original country between the Dinka and the Nuers. And so far, we have had a series of workshops, 4 of them, as we were targeting to have 100 facilitators out of that. But unfortunately, due to limited funds to this point, we have gone to the point of training them up to the level of training of trainers, as we still have hope that probably with time, there will be an opportunity of having a bit of funds so that everybody who has gone through the training can have a chance of practicing what they have learned. Unfortunately, the more we delay, or the more we delay to get funds, some of them have gotten involved into other things, whereby they have, some of them traveled back to their country, and it's hard to trace them. But we've hoped that even when they go back to their countries, we can still get in touch and have some people following up on them. So at this point, I want to thank African Great Lakes Initiative for giving us an opportunity at such a platform to express deeply what we are doing this way. There's a great need that is still going on and unfolding on every day, but all together hoping that probably whoever will listen to this or will develop a mind of wanting to partner will bring their hand or they bring their contribution. I think that's what I could say briefly. And I want to thank you once again for the opportunity. May God bless you.
Okay, thank you, Innocent, from Uganda and from Congo. And as you know and you are aware, with Congo, Congo is like divided. We have the North Kivu, Sud Kivu, were taken by M23 and no bands, and it's not easy to work there, but we have our peace worker there and many challenges in Congo because many parties are taken by M23 and it's not easy to work there. And other challenges, and even our countries, it's not easy to go to Burundi, it's not easy to come to Rwanda because the borders are closed. And as you heard, even with refugees, we have many, many refugees in our countries. And thank you for what you are supporting. And this is a Quaker work. It's a peace work. We are doing your work. Our people on the ground are doing our work, are doing your work. And is why we want to share what we are doing. Is you to think and to see where you can support. And I want to call upon Sandy, and this is a time of questions or reflection or comments from you and from others. I welcome Sandy to lead on this.
Thank you, David Butura. Are there any comments or questions? Kathy Felter?
I am wondering how old the children are when you start teaching them about peace.
Okay, I
Francine?
think that question goes to me or to Francine. Either of us maybe can go ahead.
To Francine, to Francine.
I think
All
to
right,
me,
thank you.
to teach them about the conflict resolution, which is the peer mediation training, we started from 8 to 15 years old, but also learning about peace through read aloud. We do each age because we have different books with the value of peace, where the teachers and the librarian, they use those books to teach the children the value of peace. Each age from 3 up to 16 years old, they learn about peace. Yeah, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Is why we say children peace libraries. It's not only libraries, it's children peace libraries. All books must be peace books. Even from the digital iPad and computers, they download peace books. They read the culture of reading, but the culture of peace.
Yeah.
It lives and also have an answer to that.
Oh, and just 1 second. Innocent, did you have part of an answer?
Yeah, for our context, when it comes to listening session, they go as young as 8 years going upward. Of course, the oldest would be 22 years old.
And Anne had a question or a comment?
Yes, I have a question for Parfait. In terms of the contraceptive birth control methods being used, what is the preferred methods or devices that are used at the clinic?
Parfait, do you have a question?
Yes, I heard the question. Is it the methods that you are using as contraceptive methods?
Yes, I was wondering if it was also being, certain methods, of course, are more helpful for preventing the transmission of AIDS and HIV. So I was just curious.
Oh, culture. Thank you very much for the question. Maybe my colleagues are also going to help me to respond. But the culture of polygamy here in Burundi can contribute to the transmission of HIV/AIDS. The culture of there is some beliefs here in Burundi where people can think that if, for instance, you do sex with a small child, if you are HIV, you positive that you can heal from HIV. These are some of the culture which can contribute to the transmission of HIV/AIDS. I don't know if this was the question.
Well, thank you for that information because that was very helpful. But I was also curious what method of birth control is either provided by the clinic or you all endorse or suggest to be used. I mean, is it IUDs? Is it pills? Is it condoms? I'm just, specifically curious about that.
Yes, thank you for the question. I am with the midwife of the clinic, but we are using pills, injection, condoms, And maybe he can add. Augustine, I'm here.
We use also disposable intrauterine and the implants, and but many use injection. Many use injection and the pills. And also with the community, we use condom when we go to the outreach campaign. We go with condoms so that the men condoms so that if they need them, we can provide them easily. And we thank the health ministry who provides those products, and we don them freely to the community. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions or comments?
A
Hello.
comment I want to add on that. Remember, in our countries, in Burundi, the Catholic is the largest religion. And according to the belief, they do not accept that. Is why the French Women Association, sometimes they do face some beliefs, some resistance from people. Yeah, according to the belief. But we are so grateful because they do campaigns, they do teachings, and some people accept to receive them and to use those products.
Thank you. Mark?
My question is about the effect of the cancellation of USAID funds. Some of you referred to it, but I'm interested in the different programs, either directly or indirectly, how that's affected you.
Well, maybe if I want to begin, others Africa, most countries were affected because of USAID cuts. Is why the refugees are suffering. There's a shortage of food, and the USAID funding cut, and now the Ebola, and now the war between US and Iran, and we are affected. Who is affected? Many people in our countries are affected. The increase of many things, the fuel increase, when there is a food increase, many we are affected. Even our work is affected. Maybe others, maybe you heard from even Kati. Kati was in refugee camp. Maybe Kati can mention of that. There's a suffering a lot to our people.
The actions of the US government our country have had a huge impact on the conditions that I've seen in Africa and other refugee camps around the world. And our actions, it goes even back to the start of the Ukraine war, where they started with food rationing because of the increased costs of food and fuel, as David mentioned. So I talk pretty regularly to refugees in the Kakuma camp. So that camp has last I knew it had 308,000 people. And the funds were so reduced that they had to divide the residents of the camp, and this also happened in Uganda, into categories, and where they took people, they divided them according to like ability to earn. And so disabled people were able to receive reduced food rations, but I think it was the majority of the people at the time, their food rations were reduced to nothing. In Uganda, they reduced a large number of the refugees' rations to zero, with the hopes that they could maybe rent land from the local people to grow their own food. And in Kakuma, they were later reduced also to nothing, and that's what's caused many people to have to return home. Some people said, "I'd rather return home to die than die here in a foreign country," and taking their children. So they're going back not because it's safe to go back, or because even the UN wants them to go back, because there's still a conflict. But So similarly, they reduce the food rations to either nothing or minimal. And I've heard stories about how because there's no because the fuel prices are so high, they don't have money to run the pumps to get the water, so that people don't even have access to water. They or have to pay for water. So it results in these dire circumstances result in many terrible choices for these families. You know, it results in women having to have survival and girls having to have survival sex to stay alive, and so early marriage or forced marriage. It's just a terrible situation there, and we can do things to help. You know, we are able to provide funds for the facilitators that we've been training, and to go in and can actually make a difference there. And on the positive side, I should say, you know, we usually go to churches when we're there and participate in services and things. I mean, the faith, the amount of faith I have seen has had an enormous impact on me and my spiritual development, because people are managing to survive and to support each other despite these dire conditions. So it actually has been very inspiring.
Good morning. This is Adrian at Stony Run. It's wonderful to see you all in this manner. I was in Burundi in 1999 and 2003, and the problems were overwhelming. But you guys are making, and gals are making such good work to try and confront and solve problems and engage other people in solving problems. I had a couple of comments. One, following up on the food concern, AGLI has modified its donation program so that you all listening to this program can send donations for food aid to AGLI, and it will get there and will be used along the lines that Kathy has outlined. I'd also like to, well, I was going to ask about the impact of the food lack, but you all have addressed that. Thank you for your work. And friends who are listening to this, you all can contribute. There's been a blessed lack of requests for funding during this broadcast, but it's contingent on us to make this work continue, and it can only do that if we send money.
I am trying to distribute on the screen the document about where to donate. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to ask Rosalie if she could continue to act as host.
So here I am. This is Rosalie. If you do have a question, please ask it now. Sandy is putting up some thoughts for how you can donate. If you want to do that online, if you go online to Friends Peace Teams and then to donate to the African Great Lakes Initiative, you will see Friends Women's Association in Burundi. You will see Children's Peace Libraries in Rwanda, but you won't see the refugee camps precisely. And so what you can do is choose other. And when you choose other, it will ask you what other you wanted to donate to, and then you can tell them. That's how you should do for the food. Well, I said what you must see when you're there. You don't have to do it like that. The camp in Uganda is the one where Innocent works. The one at Kakuma is the one where Peter works. And also Innocent mentioned, or maybe others also mentioned, the work in North Kivu in DRC. That is a little bit different, but just as much in need. I think it was 6 people who came from DRC to be trained to do HEROC workshops. And that needs support for them to do it. So I'm hoping there are other questions here somewhere. This is Sandy. I don't have a question, but I just want to thank all of you who shared your work and your stories today. My heart is full with gratitude, and I really, Stony Run wants to support you, and Rosalie and I are stepping up. Please let us know what we can do, if there's more that we can do. As I said at the beginning of our gathering, I will be sending a note to all of those people on our contact list. I will include a copy of the recording of the Zoom. I will send links to the PowerPoints and the videos and include information on donations. I'm sorry that we could not show all of the videos, but please, when you get the email, take the time to view them. I am still touched by the video that Francine's about two children who get into some sort of an argument, and their teacher wishes to help them settle, to make peace. And they very kindly say, we can do this ourselves. We've been trained. And it is, the children are our future. Thank you, thank you. I am going to turn this back to Rosalie for any of her final thoughts. And if you have questions, please just shout it out. It is almost 10:30 here at Stony Run, so we can stop if you have no more questions. But I am so glad you were here today. Now there's Kathy. Hello, Kathy.
Well, it's Kathy Felter again. I am just overwhelmed with the work that is being done, the strength of the people. It's absolutely wonderful.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy Railsback, I have so much appreciated having you speak today too. It was important. You gave a lot of details that many people will not have known. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Judy Lum, I'm wondering if you have any comments to make after having heard these words from our friends.
No, just brief appreciation for all of this wonderful work. It's very impressive.
Thank you, Judy, for being here. We will be sending this to you, the recording, so that more people in Atlanta will hear about it, and maybe you'll be able to share it with someone in Belize who will use it too. That would be good.
This is Ann Kahinde at Stony Run, and I just want to echo what other speakers have said in expressing my deep thanks to all of you for the incredible work you're doing. I just, it makes me ashamed to be an American that we have cut off the USAID, but I am hopeful that we can try to get more people to donate and try to help lessen the suffering a little bit. But again, thank you all. I hope you all stay safe and healthy. And just thank you, friends, for all of your work.
There are people online who have worked with the African Great Lakes Initiative for a long time. So I was particularly happy to see a few of them. Sue Nowelski, you are one. I'm walking over there with the microphone.
Hello, I'm Martha at Stony Run. I've lived in Africa, but southwestern Africa during different times. I very much appreciate I've been to East Africa. I very much appreciate all the work that's being done, and I'm inspired because I think you are working harder to listen to children and teach them conflict resolution skills than we are. And maybe that's why you aren't getting USAID money. I'm inspired by your stories because it inspires me to work harder with individuals who want to bridge the gaps we have in our country right now and not sit there in mourning of all the things we're causing and get going. So that's what I want to know, is how best to do that. In terms of the Friends Peace Teams, which I'm quite aware of, how do I decide to give to one of these groups? How about if I want to give to all of them? Or should I say 50% to this one and 20% to that one? That's where I'm in a quandary right now.
Send it all to the AGLI.
That's what I've done in the past, but this sort of implies to choose.
Just send it to AGLI. You don't have to designate it as.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for forcing it.
Thank you. And if you send your contribution to AGLI, it will give them the option to send the funds where it is needed the most. And now, may we please conclude with silent worship. Thank you, friends. I leave our gathering with gratitude and hope and love and joy and light.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
all.
Sandy and the others. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And that recording is excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alexia.